chapters in the past. Those are some lyrics from the song, If Today Was Your Last Day by Nickelback. Let's take the time to remember the three girls who were murdered in this peaceful and quiet community by first knowing who they were, how they were killed, and finally how they seemed to be linked. To start, we'll review the details of Valerie Lynn Klosowski's homicide. Valerie was an average teenager. She liked to go to the pool, hang out with her friends, and watch TV. She also loved to read and write short stories. She was barely a teenager when she died. She lived with her older sister Denise, her younger sister Michelle. The adults in her life were her father Harold and her grandmother. Her mom had married and divorced Harold 3 times before moving out of the house permanently moving out of Valerie's life. The Klosowski home was and still is located on 5th Street Northwest or by the old junior high. Valerie's personality could be described as bright and outgoing. For most of you, junior high wasn't all that long ago. Imagine being strangled at the age of 14 and not getting the chance to own your driver's license, or own a car, go on a lot of dates, go to the senior prom, or go to R-rated movies. Published in the 1971 Des Moines Register, Valerie was last reported seen at the Waverly Municipal Pool with one friend accompanying her. Valerie told her friend that she'd meet her in the pool later. Well, later came, and Valerie never came in. When the friend left, she found Valerie's swimsuit and towel in the parking lot, but no Valerie to be found. 2 days later, 2 young boys were playing along a creek in town and having fun, but when they found her body, no fun was involved. They found her body strangled and raped, and none of her clothes to be seen. One murder in this town is unusual, but 2 is a little strange. The second murder was of young Julie Ann Benning. Her life was ended when she was only 18 years old. The people she lived with were her father, Lowell Benning, and her 4 sisters. She was a typical high school student with that flashy smile, an intelligent brain, and full of ambition. And like most, Julie played the Top 100 Countdown and loved to read Nancy Drew books. And because of that love of reading, she wanted to go into journalism. She started her career in journalism by writing for the school newspaper. This is one piece that she wrote. Murder is a horrible crime to commit, and of course, the offender must be punished. But does that mean he should rot in prison until he dies? I don't think so. Nor do I think any one person has the right to say someone should never be let out of prison or give them the death penalty. Put yourself in their shoes. The convicts are still humans too. I hope people will be willing to help them and lend them support in the convicts' effort to rehabilitate themselves. 6 months later, the outspoken teen herself had ended up murdered. Coincidence? Maybe. She vanished without a trace the day after Thanksgiving. Her father knew that she'd never disappear without a word, so he alerted all the media. She was last seen getting her shoes repaired at a store in the mini mall downtown. 4 months had gone by, and no word of her whereabouts. On one warm March day, as the snow was melting, a Butler County road maintenance worker was sent out to work on the ditches. As he was going through the ditches, he came across something. That something was the body of Julie. She was beaten and raped as well, just like Valerie. With 2 murders, it would seem that death by murder is becoming a more common occurrence. But according to About.com, the #1 most likely way to die is from heart failure. Being murdered isn't even on the top 10. A few months later, yet another murder had occurred. Marie Lisa Peak was an up-and-coming woman in society, and she thought she was nowhere near death. Lisa never reached her 21st birthday, but what she did reach was attending college. She attended Warper College here in town, and she was majoring in journalism. In an interview with Sandy Snicklaw, Sandy said that Lisa was a great abucker and that she was a hard-working student who the professors admired for starting to write a book. Sandy also said that Lisa was friends with a lot of people on campus. In 1976, it was a grand year for Steve Jobs because he had created the Apple Computer Company. On the other hand, for Lisa's family, 1976 wasn't the grandest of years when it rolled around. Lisa went missing the night after Labor Day weekend. She had scheduled a date with her friends, and she did not come back, and her roommates were concerned. But they waited a few more hours just in case. hours had passed, and Lisa still wasn't at the dorm for their scheduled date. So her nervous roommates went to the police station to report her missing. 2 days later, a local was running on a gravel road by Bartles. He saw something in the ditch. That something unusual was the nude body of Lisa Peak. She was found face down underneath a large cottonwood tree. Her body was bruised and beaten, and her neck was broken and strangled. Later, the autopsy report showed that she had been sexually assaulted. A few college students at UNI did a video project bringing up the evidence once again, trying to tie in these 3 cases. This is what they suggested. Each of the bodies were located within a 6-mile radius. They were all interested in the same thing. They all loved writing, and they all loved journalism. Their personality and looks were the same, too. They were outgoing, they had a flashy smile, and they were all pretty. They died the same way, too. They were strangled, sexually assaulted, and beaten. And all 3 of them still to this day remain cold cases. Some officials, though, believe that these aren't connected at all. The girls didn't know each other, they were in different grades, they were involved in different activities with different people, and they came from different home lives. In conclusion, these 3 girls are constant reminders that a world can be turned upside down in a flash. The families of these 3 girls have reminders every day that their daughter or sister will never get the chance to live their life to the fullest. These 3 girls, Valerie, Lisa, and Julie, their cases are still unsolved, and the murder is still out there.
Oh, creepy.